Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari. Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Yasodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Yasodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Jamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Yasodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Jamunatira Vanachari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gora Haribol, 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 Nitai Gora Haribol. Gaur Premanande, Hari Haribol. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for having me. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 15, verse 32 to 41. So we will end this chapter today. The title is Parasuram, the Lord's Warrior Incarnation. So before we start singing together the verse, which is the last one, I would like to do a recap, so that will help me to have a overview. Like many of you been coming. I came a couple of weeks ago, so that will help me. Hopefully, also will help you. So let's start with the recap, and then at the end we will sing together the last verse, which is 41 and the purple. So we start with the overview. So I'm going to start with text 14. Just to okay, let's start. So text 14 say, learner scholars accept this Parasuram as the celebrated incarnation of Vasudeva, who annihilated the dynasty of Kartavidya. Parasuram killed all the Kshatriyas on earth 21 times. So we are going to see why Parasuram killed this dynasty and all the Kshatriyas. And next 15. When the royal dynasty, being excessively proud because of the material modes of passion and ignorance, became irreligious and ceased to care for the laws enacted by the Brahmanas, Parasuram killed them. Although their offense was not very severe, he killed them to lessen the burden of the world. So we can see here there's a deviation. The Kshatriyas have the responsibility to take care of civilization and people, but then somehow or another they become proud. We will see that. How is that happen, and how we can correct that. It does happen also with us. Hopefully no. And next 16, King Pariksit inquired from Sukadeva Goswami, what was the offense that the Kshatriyas that the Kshatriyas who could not control their senses committed before Lord Parasuram, the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for which the Lord annihilated the Kshatriya dynasty again and again. So here is Pariksit asking Sukadev what was the reason of Parasuram wanting to kill the Kshatriyas. And then next, 17 to 19 is Sukadeva Goswami respond to the question. So the best of the Kshatriyas, Kartavidya Arjun, the king of the Ahayas, received 1,000 arms by worshipping Dattatreya, the plenary expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana. He also became undefeatable by enemies and received unobstructed sensory power, beauty, influence, strength, fame, and a mystic power by which to achieve all the perfection of yoga, such as anima and lagima. Thus, having become fully opulent, he roamed all over the universe without opposing, just like the wind. So if you can see, when opulence come to us, we become proud, that get influence to us, and we change our attitude. But with devotee it doesn't happen, because everything we have, we offer to Krishna. But in a materialistic way, or materialistic people, when they get influence, they deviate from Dharma. Okay, I'm going now to just one question. Someone can ask why Parasuram got angry with Kartavidya Arjun, and why he wanted to kill him. What? Jai Radha Madha Mohan ki jai, Jai Krishna Varan ki jai, Gauranitai ki jai, Vishnu Deva Bhagavan ki jai, Hare Krishna. So what is the reason that he wants to kill him? So I'm going to start explaining the story, the reason why. So once while Kartavidya Arjuna was wandering unengaged in a solitary forest and hunting, he approached the residence of Jamadagni. So Jamadagni is the father of Parasuram. So he went there. Next, 24, the sage Jamadagni, who was engaged in great austerities in the forest, received the king very well, along with the king's soldiers, ministers, and carriers. He supplied all the necessities to worship this guest, for he possessed a Kamadhenu cow that was able to supply everything. So he has a very special cow. Um, this cow can provide anything he can ask. Jamadagni served very well the guests, but actually they were wondering how this um, person living in the forest can supply with everything. So Kartavidya thought next, it's 25. Kartavidya Jung thought that Jamadagni was more powerful and wealthy than himself because of possessing a jewel in the form of a Kamadhenu. Therefore, he and his own men, the Kalaiyas, were not very much appreciative of Jamadagni's reception. On the contrary, they wanted to possess that Kamadhenu, and which was useful for the execution of the Agni Ultra sacrifice. So you see, we have envy. People have things that we don't have, and we want to have it. So if we can have it, sometimes people can take it by force, which is the wrong thing. We will talk today about what is the wrong way and what is the right way, and if we are in the wrong track, how we can come back to track in the right way. So that's the main topic for today's class. Because we see Kartavidya Arjuna is doing wrong thing. He get very well, very powerful, and then he start deviating from Dharma. He start don't listening to the Brahmanas, and then at the end is doing the wrong thing. He's stealing a cow which is not his, and that get Parasurans angry, like why he's doing this. I need to give him a lesson, and he will after him to kill him. Text 26. Being puffed up by material power, Kartavidya Arjuna encouraged his men to steal Jamadagni's Kamadhenu, the cow. Thus the men forcibly took away the crying Kamadhenu along with her cub. Not only the mother, the son also both. To Mahismati, Kartavidya Arjuna's capital. And then one more, and that's when it's this 27th, this when Parasuran get angry. Thereafter, Kartavidya, having left with the Kamadhenu, Parasuran returned to the ashram. So he came home to see the father. When Parasuran, the youngest son of Jamadagni, heard about Kartavidya Arjuna's nefarious deed, he became as angry as a trampled snake. So he is very angry, and he is an incarnation of the Lord. You can imagine. So next part is I'm going to stop reading because I think we can start the class and explain more, but I briefly explain next part. 28 to 41 is the Lord going after Parasuram, and there's a big battle. So in the beginning, Kartavidya, he was a bit anxiety, like worry, like, oh, Parasuram is here, he's come here to kill me. So he sent his soldiers first, but Parasuram, with the speed of the mind, he just killed everyone. He was chopping all the bodies, so just in a split of a second. Then, Kartavidya, seeing that the soldiers couldn't kill Parasuram, he himself came. He was very angry. He tried to kill Parasuram. So, as I said before, he has 1,000 arms. 1,000 hands, right? So he took 500 bows with the arrows and shoot the arrows to Parasuram at the same time. So imagine 500 arrows at the same time coming to Parasuran. So Parasuran only took one. They shoot the arrow and then split in 500. And all the 500 just um, break Kartavidya's arrow, so nothing happened. And then at the end, as I said, I'm going to be sure at the end, Parasuran killed Kartavidya. And all Kartavidya's sons ran away, saying that Parasuran killed the father, which is very powerful. So if someone is being defeated, which is very powerful, and you are less powerful, what do? If you stay there, you're going to be killed also, so you run away. So that's a brief explanation about the battle. So we can start now reading the verse together, which is 41. But actually, let's read 40 because there's a purport there, and 41, which is the end of this chapter, which is beautiful. So I read 40, 41, and then we read together 41. So text 40. So now Parasuram come home with the father, and the father saw that he killed Kartavidya, and then the father is talking to the son. And on the text 40 he said, the duty of a Brahmana is to culture the quality of forgiveness, which is illuminating like the sun. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, is pleased with those who are forgiving. And then the purport. Different personalities become beautiful by possessing different qualities. Chanakya Pandit says that the cuckoo bird, although very black, is beautiful because of his sweet voice. Similarly, a woman becomes beautiful by her chastity and faithfulness to her husband. And an ugly person becomes beautiful when he becomes a learned scholar. In the same way, Brahmanas, Satyas, Vaishyas, and Sudra become beautiful by their qualities. Brahmanas are beautiful when they are forgiving, Satyas when they are heroic and never retreat from fighting, Vaishyas when they enrich cultural activities and protect cows, and Sudras when they are faithful in the discharge of duties, listen to their masters. Thus everyone becomes beautiful by his special qualities. And the special quality of the Brahmana, as described here, is forgiveness. And then last verse 41, this is the one we will recite together. My dear son, okay, let's recite together first and then I read it. So Rano Mudavi Sikasya Dado Brahmapada Tita Sansevaja Chanko Jaya Jachutta Chetana. Mataji? continue. Just like to do some prayers. Ona Jannati Mirandasya, Janatana, Salakana, Satu, Militan, Tasna, Sesuru, Namo Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Vistaya, Vutare, Sumati Vati, Charu, Swami, Namo Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Vistaya, Vutare, Sumati Vati, Javanti, Swami, Namaste, Saraswati Devi, Gauravan, Prasari, Sesa Sundari, Prasita, Satana, Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Bhagavan, Sri Gaura Bhaktavinda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I would like to seek blessing of permission from all the seniors Vaishnavas sitting here, so I can speak something that will benefit us and also purify my heart. So we can start now. So the translation for text 41 is, my dear son, killing a king who is an emperor is more severely sinful than killing a brahmana. But now, if you become Krishna conscious and worship the holy places, you can atone for this great sin. And the purport is one who fully surrenders to the Supreme Personality of Godhead is free from all sins. Aham Tvam Sarva Paveyo Mokshajisyami. From the very day or moment he fully surrenders to Sri Krishna, even the most sinful person is freed. Nonetheless, as an example, Jamadagni advised his son Parasuram to worship the holy places. Because an ordinary person cannot immediately surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is advised to go from one holy place to another to find saintly persons and thus gradually be released from sinful reactions. If we see here, the father is not only telling the son, go and visit the holy places and come back. The reason to visit the holy places, obviously you get purified just being in the holy place, but to go deeper is to meet the people living in that holy places, because they have the they have the love of Godhead in their hearts. So by meeting them and interacting with them, then you purify your heart yourself. So it's good to go take a bath at Ganga, but also it's more important to have association of devotees. So we have Prema from them, and obviously from Ganga. That's why just to clarify what he's saying in the part. Right. Okay, so I would like to come back to text 15 because that's the key. Why is this happening? Why Parasuram is so angry with Kartavidya Arjuna? What is wrong? So then we can find out what is the wrong thing and what is the right thing, or how we come back to track. So in text 15, it says, when the royal dynasty being excessively proud, that's the main thing, proud, because of the material modes of passion and ignorance, became irreligious and ceased to care of the laws enacted by the Brahmanas. Parasuram killed them. Although their offenses was not very severe, he killed them to lessen the burden of the world. So everyone wants happiness and peace, but when people become proud of these negative qualities, then disturb the peaceful life of everyone. And it's said in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 16, the divine and demoniac nature explains. Lord Krishna explains about the demoniac natures. So in text 4, Krishna say, Dambo Darpo Vimanascha Kroda Parusham Evacha Achnanam Chavijatasya Partha Sampadam Asurini. So the translation is pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, and ignorance. These qualities belong to those of demoniac quality, also not Prita. So the first word is pride. And we have in the verse 15 that um, Kartavidya Arjun being excessively proud. So pride is a part of the demoniac qualities, and that's where it started the wrong thing. We shouldn't have demoniac quality. We should go to the divine qualities. So if we have that, what can we do? Um, so nowadays, people do something wrong and they don't correct themselves. Instead, they do the same mistake again and again and again. So this is not a good thing for us. Let's say, for example, I'm driving, um, I do a wrong thing, and then the police stop me, and then they give me a fine. Now, if I commit the same mistake driving again and again, like for example the seatbelt, I don't wear the seatbelt, right? And the police stop me. So you have to pay the fine again and again and again, and you never correct yourself. Because this is nonsense. So as soon as we know the mistake we have, we should correct ourselves. For example, in UK, um, the law we have is when you get one fine, then it's 1 point coming to your driving lessons. 2 fines, another point. So once you have 3 points, the government remove your driving lessons because you're not suitable. You've been learning how to do the right thing, and now you're disturbing others people driving, and you're dangerous for the society. So they remove the driving lessons, and then you need to have the driving lessons back. You need to study again. You need to do the exams again because the government sees you're not suitable. You learned before, but it looks like your learning is not complete, so you need to do again. So this is how the law protect us to have a peaceful life and happy life. Um, yes, and also Pariksit Maharaj explained this point of people do the same mistake again and again and again, and that's leads to sinful activities. If you do some mistake and again, that means you're not doing the right thing. And when you do the wrong thing, that means you're doing sins, which is no beneficial for us. So Pariksit Maharaj say on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 1, Text 10, Kavasin Nivartate Badrat, Kapsid Charati Tapuna, Prayas Chitam Ato Partam, Mani Kunjara Sauvacha. So translation is sometimes one who is very alert so as not to commit sinful acts is victimized by sinful life again. So even if we try to correct ourselves, sometimes we have the mistake, but we never give up. Because if we give up, there's no hope. So we need to keep correcting ourselves and helping, seeking help from senior devotees too, if we don't realize that we have some mistake ourselves. Pariksit continues saying, I therefore consider this process of repeated sinning and atoning to be useless. So what is the use to do the same mistake again and again and again? If we're not learning properly, we're not moving forward. So we are stuck. And then Pariksit Maharaj gives an example of an elephant. And he says, it is like the bathing of an elephant. For an elephant cleanses itself by taking a full bath. But then what he's doing after? But then throw dust over its head and body as soon as it returns to the land. Sisi Radha Madhu Mohan ki jai, Krishna Balaram ki jai, Gauranga ki, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So Pariksit Maharaj say this is useless. Okay, the elephant get a bath, he's clean. As soon as he go out to the land, he start throwing dust over the body. So what is the point to get a bath if you just get dirty 1 second after? It's pointless. So that was Pariksit Maharaj is pointing. This is the mentality of modern civilization. Is having this mistake again and again. Um, so Parisint condemned this. Um, Srila Prabhupada explained um, from the lecture Srimad Bhagavatam, um, Canto 6, chapter 1 and verse 12. Srila Prabhupada explained that we can do a mistake once or maybe twice. But what's the point to keep repeating this? So Prabhupada is reinforcing this point again and again. This becomes sinful acts, which leads to a sinful life. So therefore, we must be very careful with our activities and where is our life is going. Are we living a pious life, or are we living a sinful life? So we need to be very careful and check ourselves. And then if we are careless, okay, I do one mistake, I'm human, and I do again and again. You are careless, so don't think that anything will happen to you. It will happen. This is Maya is in charge, and Maya can give you punishment. So if you do the right thing, Maya will reward you, and if you do the wrong thing, then Maya will punish. And it's not that Maya is bad; it's that she wants to help us. It's like the police. Police do two things. Police help the civilians, people, and police take the criminals and put in jail. So if the police is not bad, he's doing his job. Similar, Maya is doing his job. So when we get punished, that doesn't mean she is bad. It's that we are doing something wrong and she tried to correct us. And when we get rewards, it's like we did something right. So human life is meant to be responsible. We need to be responsible. For example, a boy, all the children needs to get education because the future, for their future, when they grow up, they need to get a job. Everyone's, we are on the same boat. So let's say, for example, the boy said, the father, I don't want to go to school. I want to play all day. Why shall I go to school? It's boring. But the fathers know that no, my boy will grow up. And when he is going to be like 20, he will maybe move, have their own life. So the fathers know. So my question to you is, who is responsible for this? Like the boy doesn't want. So who is responsible? Is the boy responsible? Is the father responsible? Is the government responsible? Who is responsible for this boy? Yes, I want to ask you. You can raise your hand.
Depends on his age.
Okay, so let's say the boy is starting school, maybe first year of the school. He doesn't know much about the school, so he really doesn't care. He just wants to play. So who is responsible? The boy, the father, the government? It's very young age. Let's say 6-7 years old.
I think one place I've heard or I've read is that when the child is under a certain age, the karma goes to the parents because it's their responsibility.
Yes. So at that age, the parents are responsible because they know better than the kids. Like for example, if it's lunchtime and the kid wants ice cream, are the parents going to give ice cream to the kids? I know he loves ice cream, but parents know that that's not good for health. So they're going to give, rice, sabji, proper food, chapati. Yes. So the parents are responsible, and also the government is responsible. So why do you think the government is responsible? Because in UK, if the parents didn't take the kid to the school, the parents are responsible to take the kid to the school. If they don't do that, then the government gives you a fine to the parents. So it's not like, okay, let's go for holidays 3 weeks. No, if the kids have 2 weeks holidays, that's all you have. So a part of that, if the parents doesn't take the kid to the school, they get a fine. So why the government is giving fine? What is the interest of the government for that kid go to the school? That's my question. So, anyone can answer? You understand the question? Would you like to answer? Okay. Sankirtan, prayer, Prabhu.
So obviously, in the UK, the reasons for the fines are so that the burden doesn't become the government's burden later on in life.
Mhm.
So then, therefore, it's important for the government to educate the mass populace, and therefore, the person gets educated, they work, they add into they pay their taxes, and
Yes.
therefore they contribute to the country's well-being and the society's well-being. Right?
Yes. Yes, so that's the government interest. What the government wants everyone to be engaged. Everyone have a job, do activities. Otherwise, they can live on benefits. So the government is paying to these people, and they are doing nothing. They just at home, relax, go for a walk, and they get paid for that. So government, that will be a burden for the country. Imagine half of the population living like that. Where is the money come from? From another half of people working. So, so that's the reason why government get interest to everyone's get education. So this is the situation. Everyone wants to enjoy. They have mistake because the real thing is they want to have sense gratification. They want to enjoy and be free, and they think, okay, I'm not going to be punished. But the real thing is, people get punishment. People doesn't know about um, the consequence, and also doesn't know, and they don't even want to know about next life. They think that that's nothing, that's imagination, but not. Whatever we do in this life, we create karma, and then we carry to the next life. So people are, like Prabhupada say, this situation is going on, and all the living entities are after sense enjoyment, like a madman. So a man who is mad. So they're acting very irresponsible, doing all kind of sinful activities. They're not taking responsibility of their own life. So why is that? Prabhupada asks. And Prabhupada says simply for sense gratification, and that's all. That's all they want. They simply enjoy. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 5, Text 4, it is say, Namam pramatat kurute vikarma jat indrija pritaja aproniti nasadu manya jata atmanojam asanapi kel sada asa deha. And translation is when a person considers sense gratification the aim of life, he certainly becomes mad. So that is what Prabhupada said. People are mad after sense gratification. So they go after materialistic living. They're having a materialistic living life and engage in all kind of sinful activity. He does not know that due to his past misdeeds, he has already received a body which, although temporary, is the cause of his misery. So we are in this material world full of misery. Come back soon to that point. Actually, the living entity should not have taken a material body. Yeah, why we are here? Why we are taking material bodies? But he has been aware the material body for sense gratification. So we want to enjoy. Okay, so Krishna is very kind. Say you want to enjoy. I give you the specific body you want to enjoy the most. What do you like? Do you like swimming? I give you a fish body. Do you like eating? I give you a pig body. It depends your desires. Krishna's kindness is unlimited, and give us the body we want to enjoy the most. And I finish with this verse, and it says, therefore, I think it must benefit an intelligent man to involve himself again in the activities for sense gratification by which he perpetually gets material bodies one after another. So this is the samsara, the cycle of birth and death. So people are mad after sense gratification. And Prabhupada say, only intelligent people will see that this is nonsense, this is not life, and then by reading the scripture we understand Bhagavad Gita that there is samsara, circle of birth and death, and this is a place of misery. So Prabhupada used always to say this is dukkha lajam asasvatam. This is a wall of miseries, and this comes from Bhagavad Gita 8:15, which is say man upetya punajanna dukkala jam asasvatam. So dukkala means a place of miseries, and asasvatam means temporary. So this temporary and full of miseries. There's nothing here to enjoy, but people are after enjoyment. Napnu banti mahatmana samsiddhim paraman gata. And the translation is, Krishna says, after attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries, because they have attained the highest perfection. So people are looking for enjoyment, they want to have a comfortable life. For example, they want to be loved and give love, so they get married, they have a very comfortable situation, they have kids, they have a good job, and suddenly, what happened? Death comes. So, Yamana say, okay, time to go out. So where is the enjoyment? This is not a permanent situation, this is temporary. Anytime we can go out. So even if you enjoy for a little, which is impossible, what is the use? I mean, it's useless to be here because it's all suffering. So people think, Prabhupada explain that people think they are enjoying, and Prabhupada say, no, actually there's no enjoyment in this material world. As I said before, it's dukkha lajam asasvatam. And in this material world, there's only one thing, it's suffering. That's all you get. So you're looking for something, but you're not getting. You're looking for happiness, you won't get happiness here. All you have is suffering. Guru Maharaj explained very nicely on this book. It's called Prasnena, Question and Answer. Page 21. Explain about real happiness, which is part of the soul. We are Satchitananda, internal, full of bliss and full of knowledge. But in this material world, it's actually the opposite. It's temporary, full of ignorance and full of suffering. So let me explain what Guru Maharaj explained on page 21. So Guru Maharaj explained about what is the difference between Ananda and Sukha. There's a question and answer book. I'll give you the question. And the question was, how is the Ananda full of bliss? How is the Ananda aspect, which is full of bliss, of the living entity related to the Supreme Personality of Godhead? So Guru Maharaj explained, to get Ananda, which is through love. So people start doing loving exchange with another living entity, but because this is a false platform, it never get fully fulfilled. So people try to get Ananda, which is impossible, by loving someone else, or even loving a dog or a cat. But you never feel fully satisfied. And the reason why is because love is only meant for Krishna. So what we have here on the name of love is lust. We actually lust someone, but we thought it's love, but that's the reflection of love is lust. Okay, so Ananda is the real enjoyment. And Guru Maharaj explained about Sukha. So Sukha means cessation of the suffering condition, whereas Ananda is opposite of this suffering condition. And then is Guru Maharaj said, if darkness is suffering, then light is ananda, and some sort of artificial means to remove the darkness is sukha. So, for example, darkness is suffering. For example, we are here in the material world, is all suffering. The opposite is light. So the opposite will be spiritual world. So we are here in the material world. I want to enjoy. I want to stop this suffering. So I want to do something, some arrangement to reduce this suffering. For example, it's night time, and the room is in darkness. What do? You switch off the light. But this light is not natural. It's not something that is being created by God. It's being created by human. So the reason behind the genius who create, I don't know the name now, the genius who create the ball, he wanting to have light in darkness. But that's not natural. The natural thing is that having the sun. So when you have the sun, you feel happy because this comes from Krishna. When you have the light at night, you feel it's okay. I mean, it's better than the dark. But that's sukha. That's you try to reduce the suffering. For example, if I hit my thumb somehow or another, maybe with the door, what I do? I blow it, right? Because I'm suffering. Or I put it on cold water because the suffering is too much. Somehow or another, I need to reduce it. So for some artificial method, I reduce the pain. Then I think I'm happy. But I'm not happy. Suffering is still there. The only thing is I reduce the quantity of the suffering, but still suffering is there. So there's no happiness in this material world. That's the point. Try to explain. Nearly finished. So also in this book, Guru Maharaj explained about an analogy that this is a prison house on the page 254 and 255. So I would like to read it. Maybe not read it whole because time, but I briefly explain to you. I give you the question. The question is, why is this material nature considered to be a prison house? And Guru Maharaj, this is actually an analogy for us to understand that we are the prisoners. We did some crime, so we are disturbing people, and people who wants to follow the law and be happy. We are the ones who are disturbing them. So that's why people who are criminals, they are put on prison's house or jail for them to correct the mistake. Krishna also was explaining in his class a couple of days ago that we need to be corrected when we do a mistake. The right time is when we are junior and a senior come and see the mistake and the senior correct the junior. This is the right time, because also he explained that if that junior is not corrected from the beginning, he's doing the mistake again and again and again, then that junior becomes a senior. And when he is a senior, nobody can correct the senior, not even the seniors, not even the pairs, because the pairs are considered friends. So that's too late. And also you were given an example of a criminal die, and then Yamaraj say, okay, if you want to change something in your life, the life you just have, what would you do? Or what is your desire? I said, I want my man to be in jail. And this is, okay. When I heard that, I was thinking, oh, this is really a criminal. He wants his own mom to be in jail. But then he explained and clarified, and then I understood, oh, that's right. So moms, when he was a boy, he was doing criminal things, and the moms, rather than correct him, he was encouraging him, do more wrong things, be more criminal. So he became a big criminal because the moms were encouraging him the whole life. And then he died, and then he will have to pay for all the sinful activities he did, because he had no person to correct him. And when we are childs, the person who are in charge of us or take care of us are the parents, the mother and the father. So in this case was the mother. So we need corrections. That's why we are in the prison house to rectify all our mistakes and do the right thing. Right, and the next question I just want to briefly explain is why has this material nature been described as Maituna Agara, a prison house of sense desire? Guru Maharaj explained that in the jail, they keep people in the place with iron chains. But in this material world, people stay here in the samsara, birth and death, again and again, by sex desire. And the reason why is that's how people enjoy the most in this material nature. But the reality is, this is a crime. So the more we do this crime, the more we stay here. And actually, we are not enjoyer. We are servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Our business is to provide for His enjoyment. So this is actually the whole thing. We are here in this material world. We try to enjoy, but it's not possible to enjoy here. And we are part of a whole. We are parts and parcel of Lord Krishna. We are souls, and we meant to serve Krishna with love and devotion. And that's how we relate with the Lord, through service, in a loving exchange. So let's say, for example, Guru Maharaj always explained that this finger wants to do their own things by himself. So the finger is no part of this hand anymore. So the fingers try to eat food. How a finger can eat food? It's not possible. So the finger try and enjoy, but it's not possible. So the only way the finger will be happy is when he is part of the whole hand and he's doing the job. So the job of the hand is, so many activities, but one of the activities, take the food, put it in the mouth, then the food is coming to the belly, and then the digestion comes. After digestion, the energy will be released and shared through the whole body, and the energy will come to the finger. So then the finger will be happy. The whole body is happy, the finger is happy. That's the only way we can be happy, when we serve with love the Lord Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead. So let's come to the conclusion. And also I would like to come back also to the last verse, the verse we were reading today. So the conclusion is that we need to be responsible. This life is meant to be to do tapasya. Tapasya means austerities. Intelligent men, that Prabhupada say, will understand this is not a place for a gentleman. It's not a place where we find happiness. Happiness is in a different world, which is the spiritual world. So austerities is required. Be responsible of our activities, avoid sinful activities, and do devotional service, loving devotional service to please Guru, Krishna, and Vaishnavas. And I want to highlight Vaishnavas because at the end, the purport, text 41, the text we were reading together, what's the name of the father? Jamadagni, the father of Parasuram, were advised his son to visit the holy place, but not just to visit and come back, not just to take a bath on Ganga or Jamuna. He advised to go from one holy place to another and find saintly persons. So look for people who are saintly to have their association, and thus gradually be released from sinful reactions. So this is the way to get rid of these sinful reactions. It's just having association of Vaishnava. They will help us to remember Krishna, and also as Srila Prabhupada promised us and everyone that if one follow the four regulative principle and chant Hare Krishna minimum 16 rounds daily, that person is guaranteed to go back home, back to Godhead. So let's chant together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So that's the end of the lecture. Yeah. If you have any question, it's only around 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes. And if I'm not able to give the answers, I will request the seniors to give the answer. No question? Okay. Tantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Guru Maharaj ki jai. Gora Premanande. Hari Hari Bo.